Hello. I think we're on. I'm just going to go on and presume that we're on. So hello, welcome to the live stream. This is the second time I've gone live. I don't know if anyone caught the first time, but it was just on my phone, and I just recorded me recording some saxophone. So this is the first time I'm getting the door up. I hope you can see Ableton behind me. Yeah. So bear with me if anything seems weird. I've never done this using this software before. I've never done a live using this software before. Exciting stuff, exciting stuff. So today, as it says in the title, we're recording some sax, and we're recording it for a track I'm working on in collaboration with another producer called Milo Cero. He's a producer based in Chile, I believe. So I'm very excited. I've done a few tracks with him before. We've had definitely one track released last year, and then we've got two more finished tracks that are scheduled for release that haven't come out yet. And so this would be the fourth. Very exciting stuff. So today we're going to record some saxophone. We're going to record a saxophone melody for the tune. We're going to do some improvised bits, and there's also some sax harmonies that we'll record as well. Lots of saxophone. So if you like watching people play and record the saxophone and you want to see how I do it in the Ableton project, then you're in the right place. Cool. So I'll just go through and show you the Ableton project. It's not very complicated because I didn't make the original beat for this one. So all we've got here is, I'll just close this down for a second, so you can just see there's three things. The beat, Milo Cero made the beat, so he just sends me the working beat, which sounds really cool. Hopefully you can be able to hear some of this. You can hear a lot of it anyway, but it sounds a bit like this. So that's the vibe for today. And then here, I've done a bit of messing about before. When I play over a track, I'd mess about on the keyboard, on the piano first, because I find that it's just less tiring. Like when I've got the saxophone in my hand, I feel like in a recording session, I've probably got like 45 minutes to an hour of like good stuff, strong embouchure, energy, sounding good. And I find that, if you're writing at the same time, then you kind of like, you might waste that time on writing, and then you come to record and you're really tired. So, I mean, I will do some improvising and make stuff up on the fly, but I like to go into a recording session with some kind of ideas. So that's what this red track is here. I just do it on an electric piano sound, and I've basically written some lines, I've written some harmonies, and then I've written, this is like the main melody, and then there's some kind of like solo-esque bits, and the melody comes back here. If you're good at recognizing shapes, you'll see that that's similar to here. And then there's some more solo bits. I don't have to stick to that. I don't even have that track turned on, so you won't hear that. But what I do with that is I then, again, to save time in the session itself and set me up well, I actually make a chart. So let me see if I can get my chart up here, because that might be interesting. Bear with me. I've not used this software before, so if we go here, let's create a new one. We'll call it chart. Okay, and then we want window capture. I probably should have practiced this before. All right, glory, that's big. All right. So the track, I don't know if this is the final title, but the working title is called Unflow. So I'll put that on there for now. I'm not sure we'll leave it on because it's not going to be that interesting. yeah, so for this one, I'm recording it all on tenor sax. Most of it is just one voice, a lead voice, and there's like a second voice that comes in quite a lot, and then just in this intro and 2 bars, there's a third and a fourth voice. So there's 4 tenor sax parts, but there's only really like one main part. The second part's quite a lot, and then the third and the fourth parts are just 2 bars. So this chart here, this is the tenor sax 1 part. So this is what I write out for myself from this red MIDI part that I wrote a few days ago when I had some time. Yeah, so it's not the world's cleanest chart by any means, but for the first few takes, I will stick to this. And then I've definitely got something that I know that I like, and I know that will like sound good and match all the sections and stuff, and then we'll probably open it up a little bit. So yeah, I might, if I make this a bit smaller, I can probably leave this on the bottom of the screen when we don't have tracks showing up there. So I'll leave that there. It's not going to scroll or anything, but it's something to look at. Right, and then back to here. So then, because I'm not writing, I didn't make the beat itself, I'm just doing like sax top line for this session. This isn't going to be the session that we're mixing the track in. This is just for recording. So I'll show you all the sax tracks I've got set up. So this is in a sax group. I've got the different tenor parts set up. I like to do 4 takes for each voice. I've got 5 here for the first part because I might do a 5th one for that. It just saves me time during the session. And then I've got a few extras down at the bottom if I want to do a jam. These 2 down here are just a couple of soundcheck ones I did because I've never done a live with the DAW audio before. I don't have any streaming specific gear, so like this, you can't see it, but this mic boom stand is flying off into the wall, which is why I have to sit so awkwardly. I'd need a new, if I'm going to do this more often, I definitely need a new microphone stand. And the camera's over here because that's just where my MacBook is. I have a proper big monitor in the middle, but the camera's on there. So, you know, we're making do. It's only the second one. Maybe I'll spend a load of money on stuff. But for now, we're just going to see what we can do with what we've got. Yeah, so on the sax group, I've got it going into its group, so I can do some bus processing. This is kind of just a general EQ and compression chain I put on all my saxophones. It's not very, it's kind of light processing. So I've got 1 EQ. I just take out the bottom end, everything on the saxophones, everything below 100 hertz, and then there's just a couple of dips, get rid of some resonance and stuff. And then I run it into a compressor. This is a Universal Audio tube compressor. I get a bit of compression on it, but it's mainly just for the tube color. It sounds really nice. It sort of it adds quite a lot of saturation as well. So I find that it just makes it warm and it makes it stand out in the mix. It's like a relatively fast attack on this compressor. You can't change the attack and decay. Oh, I don't know how to anyway. I don't see it on there. So yeah, but I like to use that because it just sounds nice on the sax. It sounds nice on acoustic guitar as well, I think. And then it's got a couple more EQs, just a few little bumps after compression. So it's reductive EQ, compressor, then just a couple more EQs that I've had over time. I found that I've got a bit of harshness and stuff around here, so I just have that on like that. That's all that's on the sax, and then I've also got reverb and delay buses set up. So the reverb, we've got another Universal Audio plugin. This is pure plate reverb. I have it on a long warm plate. Can you not see the plugins? Oh, that's annoying. I thought you could see the plugins. Well, I won't spend too long on that. And then I have a stock plugin for the delay called Groove. When I'm because this is only like a basic file because I'm not doing the mixing for this. When I am doing the mixing, I'll have a third bus, which is kind of like a parallel compression bus, and I'll have like quite a sort of heavy compression and EQ and maybe like a tape emulator on like a third bus. And then I'll just sort of like mix the tracks in a little bit, and that just sort of like brings it all together and gives everything like a sort of cohesive warmth, kind of glues the track together, but still in the mix phase. Anyway, have I bored you? Yes. So let's do some recording. I'm going to close that because we're not using that today. Oh, no, I need to see it because I need to see where the saxophones come in. I'll probably just start from the beginning of the track. So, I'm going to record some 10/1 parts, which is going to be from this chart you can see. Can I see the chat for this? I don't know if anyone's in the chat. How do I see that? I guess I can't see that. Maybe another time. Whatever. Alright, so like I said, I've not done this before. I've done a bit of a sound check, and I've checked the volumes of everything. I've checked the volumes for this mic and the sax mic. When I record the sax, the recording take sounds a little bit drier than when you play it back, because I don't think we're hearing all the plugins on the way in with the way I've got the interface set up for streaming. So don't worry about that. We'll listen to it back and we'll hear it in its sort of context a bit better. So I'm going to mute this microphone, and then I'm going to do the first sax take. Cool. Here we go. Yeah, I just realised I don't normally use this microphone to record the sax. I normally use that microphone, and I've just realised that I've had it on mute the whole time. So let's call that a warm-up. Lol. Alright, take one for real. So that was take one of tenor. Well, it's take A because it's tenor one part. So I call it take A. Oh, it's peaking a little bit. I'll just turn it down slightly. I can't believe take on mute. I never do that. Lol. All right. Just gonna have a listen. Some more subtone on that. I think I played that rhythm wrong as well. All right. Stop it. There's some nice bits in there. That's a first take. I'm happy with that for a first take. Yeah, I'm going to move this stuff around a bit because I think you put me here, then maybe it'll be more like I'm with the saxophone stuff. And we'll get this. I'm not going to leave that on the whole time because I don't even know if people want to see it. I don't even know if people read music. Doesn't matter either way. But you're here to hear some, hopefully. All right, so I'm just going to do another take, not on mute this time. And yeah, we'll do it again. So turn that one off, arm this one. You know what? I'll leave it so I can see it for now, just because then I can see like where the section happened, just in case. But anyway, here we go. Tenor 1, take B. Mute this mic, unmute this mic. All right, that was the second take of the 1001 part that I wrote, which is what you can see. Is that still? It's still peaking a little bit, isn't it? I'll have to turn it down a little bit more. You don't really want it to clip like that. It's not the end of the world, especially, you know, in like the lo-fi world. And you can use clip. Obviously, you know, people know you can use clipping, but that's like a choice. You don't want to just clip because you've got it on too loud. So I'm going to turn that down. All right, let's have a listen from here. I'm not really that worried about the intro. That's just going to be like a quiet little harmony thing. Cool. That sounds cool. I'll do a few more takes. Yeah, as I said earlier, I normally record the saxophone using this mic, which is a PreSonus. They call it a PD70. It's basically the PreSonus rip on the Shure SM7B, but it's like a quarter of the price. And I like it. I didn't have the budget for an SM7B when I was buying it, so I bought this one, and I think it sounds pretty cool. It's exactly what I need. I was recording in an untreated room. I mean, this one's got a few panels up, but it's essentially untreated. And I was just struggling with like condensers and stuff because I was just getting a lot of room noise. Stuff was ringing like mad. So I switched to dynamic, and it kind of fixed all the problems without actually fixing them, which is cool. So if I do more of this, I'll probably get one of those like movable desk mic stands. Maybe I can even talk and then record saxophone into the same microphone. But for today, I'm recording into this AKG mic, which is called a C519. I've got it on a wireless rig because it's what I use live. So yeah, pretty indulgent. I'm just running through batteries at home, which seems pretty crazy since everything's in the same room, but I don't have you can plug it straight into the interface, which is an SSL2 interface, which is a magic little box. It's not very expensive at all, and the preamps sound gorgeous and solved all the problems I was having with gain hiss and stuff on my previous thing. So could not recommend the SSL interfaces more. But anyway, that cable's not long enough, so I'm going to the wireless box, and then it's not an ideal studio setup. But anyway, didn't know whether to put the compressor on the sax track because there's compression built into these live clip-on mics. But then I checked it, and it sounds cooler with the compression on, so it's not compressing it very much, but it's adding all that tube colour that I talked about. And I think that sounds pretty cool, so I'm just going to leave it on. It doesn't sound over-compressed to me. Right, let's do another take. God, we're 28 minutes in. We're flying through the time. I've got loads to record. Maybe I'll save some of the more boring harmonies for when I'm not streaming. But anyway, no Problemo. Is there even? There must be chat, right? Why can't I see that? Do I have time to sort this now? I probably shouldn't. Just have a quick look at the settings. Stream. I don't think I'll be able to change this, will I? Cool. Well, if there is a chat, I presume there is. Say hi. Tell me where you're watching from. Tell me if you want to know anything more. Tell me if you want to know less. Just want me to play. That's fine. I'll just play if you want. Oh, I don't know if this is even recording. I'll be on my YouTube anyway. All right. Cool. Oh, I don't think it's recording. Okay, I can record at the same time. Sweet. What happens if I press that? Nope, that doesn't help. Cool. All right, ignore me. I'm going to do another take. So this will be tenor 1, take C. And I'm going to mute this microphone and unmute this one. Actually, maybe I could get the chat up on my phone. God, I'm rubbish at this, aren't I? How does it work? Glory. Maybe if I go on my own live. Is that weird? If I stream my own live, can I see the chat that way? Welcome to chat. Okay. I'll just send it as a test. Weird. Sweet. Here we go. Another sax take. Shut up, Dom. Shut up and play the saxophone. Alright, I'm not going to listen to it back this time because I think that I'm talking too much and playing not enough. So I'm just going to rattle off 2 more takes of this tenor 1 part. And then we'll do something else. Maybe we will do a couple of solo takes, a couple of jams. Maybe we'll do the harmony parts. Yeah. So tenor 1D. The only thing that I've neglected to say, which is if you're interested in saxophone, is probably the most interesting thing, is what is my saxophone. I've talked about every other bit of gear. This is a Yamaha 61 tenor that I've had for 11 years now. So yeah, I bought it. It's been re-lacquered, and now the second lacquer is falling off. So it doesn't look like a Yamaha, because Yamahas are known for like their superb lacquer. And I imagine that the original lacquer was taken off by someone, and then someone's re-lacquered it, which is kind of, I mean, apart from the key guard, if you're a sax nerd, you don't already know this, but apart from the key guard, the 61 really looks like a Mark 6 from a distance, and this one, because it's been re-lacquered, and you normally only re-lacquer very expensive saxophones like Selmers and stuff, it looks to people a lot like a Selmer before they get close, so they get a lot more excited than they should be. But I'm a Yamaha saxophonist. I play Yamaha pretty much across the board, or if I don't, it's because I haven't bought a Yamaha in that kind of saxophone yet. So yeah, 61. It's an early. They didn't make it for many years, but it's around the sort of 10,000 serial number, which for Yamaha isn't very high at all because they churn out so many instruments. Yeah, I think it sounds really nice. All right, no more talking. I'm going to whack off 2 more tenor 1 takes. So yeah. All right. So I think on the cable. I think I've got that part. I don't think that's my favourite take, but I think that between the 5 takes we've got it, and I'll be able, because, and here's the beauty of playing a part and then recording it all on the grid, is as you can see, it's all there, and we can quite easily splice, we can splice the takes together. And we can cut out our favourite bits. But I'll just leave that last take on because I'm going to record some harmonies. So, like I said at the beginning, the second tenor part is the only one with any sort of through, it's the only with any sort of bits. And the third and the fourth part is literally just 2 bars. So what I'll do is I'm going to remove... Oh, I can probably just change it. Let me change this. So what's on the screen here is the first tenor part, or most of it. If anyone's following along, you'll have seen that I didn't get it all on. Here we go. I'll change this to, and just like magic, you can now see the second tenor part. So you can see it's a lot more sparse. It's pretty boring. So I'll just quickly fire off a few takes of this. With my harmony parts, I do 4 because I quite like to triple track them, which means that you've got a one, if you're recording the same thing and if you're getting it like on the grid, sort of in tune, which is an F, that you've got like one panned right in the center, and then quietly you've got one all the way to the right, all the way to the left. And and it just sort of it's definitely an effect, and also makes it sound really big. It's pretty cool, especially for harmonies, I find. So that's why I record 4, and then hopefully between the 4 I've got 3 usable bits for each one. Cool. So like, yeah, I mean, there's not going to be much on this one. It's going to be pretty boring. Right. So yeah, I'm going to fire off a few takes of the tenor 2 part, starting with tenor 2 A. All right. So that's the majority of the harmony parts recorded. You'll have noticed I was recording the first half with the metronome on. Because before the beat comes in, I was finding that helpful, although I didn't record the first part with the metronome, and so there's a couple of bits not quite on the grid, as you can see there. Are they all like that? So that might... Oh, that one's not too bad. That might need a bit of fixing in the post. Yeah, it just needs to be put on the grid a little bit more for that effect. So I'm just going to quickly rattle off the next two. I've just had a look at tenor 3 and it's literally 2 notes from that same bit actually. I can just go from here. So that won't take long, I won't talk in between those bits, and then tenor 4 the same. You know what, I'll try and do all of these. It'll just take 5-10 minutes. And then we'll see if we've got any energy left to do a bit of jamming, and just forget about all the charts, and we'll just play through and see if we come up with anything cool. Sometimes when you do that, even if you've got enough stuff for the rest of the track, you can have some material just for another track, or lots of producers who are sort of like primarily beat makers rather than instrumentalists, or if they just don't play the saxophone, they quite like to get top lines independent of everything else, and then they can build a beat around it. So there's no harm in having a bit of extra material, in my experience. Cool. So I'll quickly do this next. It's literally just for these 2 bars here. We just got like a... Well, I'll play you how I wrote it. It's just what's called a pile of fourths. So fourth, 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 and then it resolves. Well, it's not. Well, let's not say resolve. Let's just say it turns into a minor 7th chord, minor 9th. Sounds like this. That's what we're going for. Do boom do boom boom. So we've already got. So I'm just going to add those extra 2 voices. Cool, cool, cool. Sweet. All right, so as I said, I've done four tracks for each. There's just one on for now because you need to clean it up a bit and decide if you're going to triple track it, which one's going in the sides, which one's going in the middle, but the effect remains the same. So let me just, the ones we haven't got turned on, I'll make them smaller so you can see we've got the bo do do bo do, and then it just carries on with the two lines. It's really just one line with a couple of bits, and that's because I got busy on the piano when I was writing it. So anyway, the harmony bits that we just recorded, if you excuse the fact that the first one's a bit, oh actually this one's better, wasn't it? Here we go. Obviously it needs a bit of tidying up, but we got the effect. That's the harmony effect. So now I'm going to, all those tenor parts are muted, and just to finish off today's session, because I've been over an hour, glory. Time flies. Okay. I've just got a few tracks called Jam, and I'm just going to play over the whole thing. As I said, like sometimes it's useful to have. It's normally fun to do. So we'll just forget about the charts. I've taken it off the screen. You shouldn't be able to see that anymore. And yeah, hopefully we enjoy. I can't get it up. So if you want to see the sax going down, I guess I need to put me higher. What about if I put me like there, and then I thought I could make me a bit smaller, can I? Look, the possibilities are endless. There you can see the track, and you can see me, and then I'm going to be recording here. So yeah, I'm going to do 3 jam takes, and then we'll wrap it up. Oh, my stomach's rumbling as well. Perfect timing. All right. Some nice bits in that, maybe. Enjoyed playing it. Like I said, I don't know if any of these bits I'll put in or not. You know, the Ableton session is my oyster. Funky intonation there. So, if you were here at the beginning, you'd have heard me talk about how I like to write parts because I find that if I write and try and record with the saxophone in my hand, I don't get to the best stuff before I get tired, and I find it a more valuable use of the session if I come prepared before I've got the saxophone in my hands. And bear in mind that I'm writing whilst I'm writing at the keyboard, I'm writing very much with the saxophone in mind, with the registers in mind, so I'm not just sort of ignoring it, but and these I will do this last jam track just because I've set it up, but it's just the perfect explanation of why I find that useful, because you can hear in that last jam session the intonations getting a bit ropey at places, and I'm just getting a bit tired, my embouchure was getting a bit tired, It's time for a break. This stream's like coming up for an hour and 15, which feels like long enough. So, you know, what am I saying? I'm saying that I've proved myself right in this one-way conversation. Cool, yeah, nice one, Dom. No one to tell you otherwise. Cool. So I'll do this last one because it's there, and why not? Is it gonna look? Yeah, I think it can make me even bigger. Look at that. All right, we'll have another jam through, and then we'll probably maybe we'll call it there. All right. Stop. Better save the project. That is it. That is all for today. Thank you. Oh God, I'm big. Thanks for watching. If you're watching this far, you're probably related to me by blood or by law. But if not, why not subscribe? That'd be really helpful. I'm gonna try, and I think I can go live in horizontal and in vertical. But for now, this one, because it's the first time I'm doing it, I just did it in horizontal. And I thought that was better for seeing the Ableton session. But what I'm trying to say is that I don't have over 1,000 subscribers, which means that these live streams are it's quite restricted who they'll be pushed out to. So it would be really helpful if you've enjoyed it. You can click subscribe, you can click like, let me know what you liked, let me know what you didn't like in the comments or in the chat. I'll find a way of how to get that up on screen for next time. But all right, take it easy. Peace.